Okay, Laurie Baker live Zoom from the barn in Valley Center, California. And I am here to launch a new business that I have actually been in working with my own family, my animals, since November. And I waited until now to share it with everybody because I wanted to work with the product myself, and I've been busy and I probably would have been sharing a lot sooner, but I'm kind of glad I waited because I added the horses to the program, and that gave it a chance for me to really have more to share. So what I really want to say is I'm really blown away by and I'm not going to get emotional because I worked on balancing myself before this, just because I almost lost my dog. And to back it up, I'm on an anti-aging quest. I'm going to be 57, and I don't want to get any older any quicker than I have to. I'm pretty much a workaholic, and I'm learning how to slow it down. But in the meantime, I want to feel better, look better, and I want my animals to join me in this. So I ended up having a very sick dog. He's 14, so the vet told me he's not sick. He's old, and so and that but he was losing weight. He didn't want to eat. It was hard to get him to eat. Um, he was having skin allergies, and we couldn't figure that out for a whole year. It was hard to get the food in him. He was sad. He wasn't moving very good. He had some bad arthritis in his hips, and I could imagine just being the little cowboy he is, and playing with the big boys. I mean, he's bound to have the arthritis that he does have. I'm not surprised. But I end up taking him to the vet, like in a matter of a year, 2 or 3 times. We did blood tests. We did blood tests again. She said, I can't find anything. Um, so I was scared because he's my little right-hand man, and he's a little Chihuahua, and he was 15 pounds, and he went down to 13, and he was still declining. So that's his status, was his status. I get him on the Pet Tandem, which is the pet product of this company. Pro Tandem is the pet, and he digs it, which is super nice because it's like a treat. So it's not hard to give your dog. They all love it. So that was a plus. And then I noticed within not even 10 days, and I wish I'd have known, it was like 10 days, 8 days, something like that. And he just flies off the bed. That's the first thing I noticed. He flies off the bed, runs, tears through the kitchen, runs around. Now, before, he was walking sideways and slow. He couldn't walk very good. He couldn't jump up anymore, go through the doggy door. Now he goes through the doggy door, in and out. He's like tearing around the place. His weight's come back. He's robust. He's muscle now because he was on raw meat, and now he's back on the raw meat. And he's like powerhouse. He looks good, feels good. He's happy, and he plays with my 80-pound new puppy, and that worries me because like he gets rolled and tumbled and little concussions here and there. And I'm like, oh my god. And so I have to literally, it's gotten so crazy with him, I have to pick him up while he's wiggling and growling, wanting to play with the dog, and I have to give timeouts. And he wants to play with me, which is kind of new. He's kind of gotten into a playful with me now. That's been the last week. So I'm still seeing changes in him. So when you lose sleep at night and you're afraid you're going to lose your little buddy, even though he's 14, I'm not ready to lose him. And I just feel so good that he's feeling great. So I feel wonderful about that. I think I covered everything with Harley. I can't wait for the vet to see him because I'm going to take him in just because I want to show it off and then tell her about the product. Okay, then Haley. So Haley is my 26. I was wrong when I said 25. I checked. Cinco de Mayo, she turned 26. She's had, for a long time now, she's had Cushing's, which if people don't understand what that is, it's like the equivalent to having diabetes. And so, of course, you worry about the heart, the kidneys, and all kinds of different things. She ended up having it for a while. She stopped a little over 2 years ago. She stopped taking her Cushing's medicine. She wouldn't do it. And I tried everything. She wouldn't do it. I tried to trick her. Well, pretty soon she didn't want anything to do with me because she was like, you're going to trick me. So then I lost my relationship with her. 25 years. She didn't want anything to do with me. I'd come, she'd turn around, go the other way. And that broke my heart. And, she's a woolly mammoth. So she's a very, very furry horse, your furriest type of horse. So she doesn't shed out. Cushing's, you don't shed out. So for 2 years, she hasn't shed. I have to take days off to hose her down when it's so hot. She's got misters, she's got shade, the whole 9 yards. But, you know that more is going on in the body than just she's not shedding. She's aging quicker that way. So let's see what I was going to say about her. Oh, and so a couple things. So I give her the Easter day. This Easter is when I started all the horses, because I got all my horses, my dogs, and me and Mike, my roommate, on it. And 2 weeks after she takes this on Easter, she starts shedding. I was like, oh my God. And so then I have been brushing her. I've been on vacation a few times. She didn't get brushed then. It was raining. She didn't get brushed then. But then I kept brushing. So this girl, she's almost completely shed out. There's only a couple places on her neck where it's a little longer. If I took a certain comb, it would come out. So I can pretty much say she's shed out. The other thing different about her is she had arthritis in the hocks, and she's moving better. She's running around more. She's moving her body around. I think she just slowed down because it was uncomfortable. The other thing is she's more nickering. Like she'd nicker before, but now she's always nickering. Like she sees me, she nickers. And so nickering, for people who don't understand that, it's a little, and it means that they're happy to see you. It's a hello. And then she's grooming. Oh, she's getting along with Kehlani. Before she was grumpy. She did not want to. She's every now and then she might groom, but most of the time she just stuck to herself and her little mini donkey that she takes care of. But now, like even today, they're grooming every day. She's hanging out with the horses, so she's become more social because she feels better. More loving with me. That's with her. So it's only been 2 months, and look at the results in 2 months. So I couldn't be happier. I mean, I feel great, but I get more excited about how they're doing. And then, and Kehlani, quickly, and I'll be done. Quickly, she is a Mexican tripping horse. I rescued her. She has a whole story, but the fact is her body was all torn up on the inside. I mean, she's very lame. She's all got scar tissue from that. And so she's got stiffness, and she runs around, and then she gets like lame. And lame meaning gets cripply. She's like, ow, 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 and walks funny. I've noticed just in the last 2 weeks, she has been looking more fluid. She's playing more without that. There's a little bit of that, but it's dramatically changing. So looking forward to more results in time, since this is a cellular activator, since this is something that works on the cellular ground floor level, I'm expecting to see a lot more things. And I'm super happy to be a part of this company. And I just want to introduce everybody to Jenny Crane and Nicola Ducharme, and they're going to take it from here and explain more about the product.
All right. Well, we have the pleasure of having the incredible Dr. Nicola Ducharme here with us this evening. Dr. Nicola, for those of you that do not know her, is a naturopathic doctor, an incredible naturopathic doctor. She's a well-respected author. She deals with chronic Lyme and has done much work and had much success in the autism community. She has a passion for helping people. And you can see that passion as she talks about the products. I know that I love to hear her take just on the science that we have. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Nicola. We're just blessed to have you share the science. I'm going to share the presentation here. So it's all yours.
All right. Thank you, Jenny. And thank you, Laurie. Hey, everyone. So good to have you here. Yeah. So as Jenny was saying, I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I do work with a really chronically unwell population. And so over the years, I have been exposed to a lot of different products and a lot of different approaches. And, being a naturopathic doctor, I'm very much about holistic medicine and how we can help ourselves naturally. But I also have seen just a lot of people kind of go the wrong way with that. And so when I was introduced to LifeVantage and these products, it was actually through a patient of mine who said that she'd had really good results with it herself. And she was a patient who'd had a chronic Lyme and mold illness, which is like the double whammy of, take your immune system down. And so I really paid attention, and it caught my eye. And I was like you, Laurie. I was like, well, I'm going to try this with patients for a few months. I'm just going to be really quiet about it. I need to see the results for myself. And, by the grace of God, I have very good health. So I can take things, and I know that these products are working on the inside. But what really just, staggers me is the results I've seen with very unwell people. And so now, I take these products every day. I give them to my husband every day. I've got my 5-year-old on the Nerf 2 every day. My 2 dogs. I have a horse. My rabbits are pretty much the only ones that don't get it. Because I'm just so aware. I mean, I have so much knowledge and background in how the body works. And I just see so many people practicing what we would call green pharmacy, just, doing it naturally, but still just suppressing symptoms and putting, synthetic things into their body. And so this has really been very, very powerful for me. And I'm going to try and talk through a little bit of kind of how it's working. But just, for a product like this to impact my chronically ill patients who have depression and pain and brain fog and all of that stuff, and they live with that every day, and to see the results I've seen with this is really quite profound for me. And so obviously in my field, I come across a bajillion different products, and there's very, very few that really stand out. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of the kind of background without getting too much in depth into the science, but I do want to let you know how this is working because it's very unique. So let's just start out by looking at, why do we feel so bad? Chronic illness is on the rise. People are tired. People are in pain. People have headaches. And the bottom line is our systems these days are just kind of overwhelmed by toxicity and pollution and all the different things in the environment that impact us. And so, Jenny, can I go to next slide, or do I need you to go to next slide? There we go. So even if we try, we eat well, we try and do the right things, there are just certain things in our environment that we're all exposed to: air pollution, car exhaust, processed foods, herbicides and pesticides, EMFs. And, we can make choices in our lifestyle that try to mitigate or minimize these things, but we're still exposed, especially in the cities. And that's just the modern world that we live in. So when I work with people with health issues, I look at it sort of like a tree. When we have health problems, we have to get to the root cause. Otherwise, we're just putting out the fire. And frankly, you can just treat symptoms naturally. You can treat symptoms with herbs and supplements and things like that, but it's not getting to the cellular level. And it's just something that we put on top of what's happening in our body. And so what I really love, and this is my philosophy of medicine and wellness and healthcare, is we have to get to the root cause. Otherwise, it's just going to pop up again and again. Or you might take a medicine or a supplement that suppresses a symptom, and as soon as you stop taking it, your symptoms come back. It's suppressing the issue, which, sometimes there's a place for that. But if we can really get to the cellular level and work on, the health on the cellular level, we've got something really, really special. And so, we talk a lot about oxidative stress. So in very simple terms, oxidative stress is what happens when you cut up an apple and leave it on the counter. Okay, the oxygen gets to it, It goes through this sort of chemical transformation, and ultimately over time, it will break down. And that's what happens in our cells. It happens because of aging. It happens naturally as part of our metabolic kind of processes, but it's accelerated through pollution and toxicity and stress and all these different things. And so when we have oxidative stress, there are many, many manifestations of that. It can really play out in any organ or any system of the body. But really, when we look at aging, aging is oxidative stress. That's what causes aging. That's what defines aging. So yeah, I'm with you, Laurie. I'm 47 in a couple of weeks, and I don't want to age any faster than I have to. Like, I'm ready to slow that train down. And I'm ready to live a longer life and be healthy for my family and all of those different things. And so when we look at oxidative stress, it can be the underpinning of a myriad of different health conditions. Because free radical damage, which is the same thing as oxidative stress, damages our cells and over time will kill our cells. And so when we look at oxidative stress, people talk about taking antioxidants to counter the free radicals. Right? So oxidative stress, antioxidants. The problem is when you take an antioxidant, it's really like just kind of one antioxidant, one free radical. It's kind of, yeah, it helps. And eating the good foods and the fruits and the vegetables and the berries, it all helps. But it's not going to be enough to really keep up with the level of oxidative stress that we experience. And so the beauty of the NRF2, which is one of the real key products in the Protandim line, NRF2 activation turns on the genes in your cells that create, the antioxidants within your cell. It's sort of like saying, if you have a raging bushfire and you throw a cup of water on it, that's like supplementing with an antioxidant. But if you want the huge fire hose and the big fire truck, you'd better bring in the NRF2 activation, because that's what's going to trigger that powerful response. And so we see it increasing glutathione. We see it increasing catalase. It turns on our cells' ability to produce the antioxidants itself, rather than relying on just supplementing them from the outside. So we're really working with our body and getting our cells to that next level where they're doing this in and of themselves. So the research shows us, and I'm a bit of a research geek, that's sort of an occupational hazard. I don't know if you guys know what PubMed is. It's basically the government's clearinghouse of medical research. And the NRF2, the Protandim NRF2, has 24 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed that back up the science of this. So it would be super boring to go off and read them all, but take it from me because I have. This is profound. There's nothing else out there that has this representation. So it increases glutathione by 300%. Glutathione is vital to phase 2 liver detox. It's vital to our energy production. And it helps to detox heavy metals from the brain and from the body. And this is the only supplement that's proven to extend life in male mice by 5 years. So it's definitely something that we can look at from an anti-aging, life-preserving standpoint. And I'm not really into anti-aging from like, let me get a facelift. And that's not it. It's like we want to have time with our family. We want to have quality of life. And we want to have our animals and our family members and friends around us and feeling good as long as we can. So the interesting about NRF2 is it does contain 5 different herbs: ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, silymarin, which is also known as milk thistle, and turmeric. And it's not even crazy high doses. Like, standard dose of this is 1 tablet per day. We're not asking people to take 10, 12 pills a day. 1 tablet per day is standard dosing. And what's beautiful about it is you can see in this slide, it's not crazy high doses of these herbs. It's the way they're put together and the ratio that gives them a synergistic effect. So I've had people say to me, oh, but I take all those things individually. And I say to them, yeah, but they're not done in this very specific dosing and very specific ratios. And frankly, if people are taking 5 things individually, they're paying 5 times as much as they would need to get just the Nerve 2 all rolled into one that's been very specially formulated in the exact right doses to get that synergistic effect. It's also had tons of research done. So I alluded to this. I love going out and checking the research. I mean, that was one of the very first things I did before even, trying this product. But it is backed by very solid research. And you can see some of the universities, Johns Hopkins, the NIH, National Institute on Aging, University of Colorado, Louisiana State, Harvard, Vanderbilt. I mean, some very big names, and also some pharmaceutical companies, because the big pharma's always looking at what's sort of up and coming and on the rise, and that they're going to have their sticky paws on this at some point. But it's very, very well validated. And that's important to me. As a physician, I want to know that if I'm suggesting something to a patient, I'm really clear. I do my homework. I don't just give anything out willy-nilly. I'm very, very specific about quality and research and all of those things. So when I looked at all the research part, it was very, very encouraging to me. And like I said, Protandim Nerve 2 has been shown to extend lifespan in mammalian, in mammal studies in mice. And it's the only thing that's actually, or the only nutritional supplement that has been tested and proven to delay the aging process and extend lifespan. So the other thing I want to touch on is mitochondrial dysfunction. Okay, so the mitochondria, the little engines in the cell that produce energy. And energy we measure in units called ATP. Kind of like we'd call it money, but the actual unit is $1. We call it energy, but the actual unit is ATP. And again, mitochondrial dysfunction has been linked with a ton of different diseases, everything from cancer, autism, Parkinson's, epilepsy, diabetes. I mean, mitochondrial dysfunction, along with oxidative stress, are the underpinnings in many, many chronic health issues. So mitochondrial dysfunction is a big thing too. So then what we do is we couple the Nerve 2 activator with what we call a Nerve 1 synergizer. And you can see the ingredients: alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10, grape extract, quercetin, and acetyl L-carnitine. And they work beautifully together because the Nerve 1 increases energy production and energy output. And so people feel more energetic, which is great. We love that. But behind the scenes, the Nerve 1 is providing the energy for the body to carry out all its biochemical processes in a more healthy way. And so the beauty of Nerve 2 is not only is it providing the antioxidants, but it's switching on the detoxification process. The Nerve 1 provides the energy for that to happen. Right? So that's why they work so well together. The Nerve 2 takes out the trash and cleans up the free radicals. The Nerve 1 fuels that process. So the way to do this in a very, very simple fashion, and this is how I play it out in my life because, I'm busy and I work and I've got a kid and we're just, on the go, is something called the Vitality Stack. And the Vitality Stack is a little packet that you take once a day. And it's got the Nerve 1, the Nerve 2, essential fatty acids for your omega-3s, and a probiotic. And the probiotic is key because we know now that gut function and what we call the microbiome, all the sort of the good bugs in the gut, they have a massive impact on health as well. And so it's so straightforward, like 1 pack a day, probiotic, omega-3s, Nerve 1, Nerve 2, done. And I do that and 1 Axio per day, which we'll talk about in just a second. And that really is the most comprehensive approach to your health that you could take. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even take a multivitamin anymore. Because, you know, if we're eating well and getting fruits and vegetables and getting our vitamins, I would much rather, and I much prioritize, and this is true for myself, my family, and my patients, I would take NRF2 activation and mitochondrial repair any day of the week over putting just synthetic vitamins into my body. So the other thing I do, and I don't live without, is a little drink mix called Axio. And Axio is brain food. It improves mental endurance, concentration, memory, mood. It does help physical energy as well, and it helps mental energy. And it doesn't have any, you know, crazy stimulants. It doesn't have any artificial sweeteners. There is a caffeinated option, but there's decaffeinated options as well. And so I have a 5-year-old, even though I'm old, I have a 5-year-old. So we call this, we joke around, my friends, this is our mama drink. Like mama needs her Axio. But by the same token, I work with tons of kids, and you should see the transformation in children. When we put them on NRF2 with Axio, these kids on the autism spectrum with behavioral issues and neurological challenges, you can see the slide here on the right-hand side. Before NRF2 and Axio, that was this child's writing. And 1 week later, look at their handwriting and how it's changed. And so, you know, most of my folks, they love it for physical energy, but mental energy as well. It's just, you know, it's just profound. And so even though, you know, I've sort of covered a lot of information and it might feel like a lot, it's so simple. 1 packet of the Vitality Stack, 1 packet of Axio a day, done. That's it. And you get all of those health benefits. So here's some examples talking about the animals, because I know that's a real passion of Laurie's, and it's a passion of mine too. My horse takes the NRF2. He gets 1 tablet a day of the human one. And what's nice about horses is they do metabolize things a lot quicker. Because I thought, well, okay, you know, I'm 140 pounds, but my horse is 1,200 pounds. Like, how many tablets am I going to have to give him a day? But horses metabolize differently, so they can take a lot less proportionate to their body weight and still have a great effect. My dogs are getting the pet tandem, and one of them's old and lumpy, and he's been moving around a lot better. The other one's 8 and healthy, but I just know that I want to give him optimal health and prolong his life as much as I can. So you can see these pictures of this, you know, this dog. That's just 2 weeks with the NRF2 activation. And you can see on the right top corner, the eczema and the, you know, the irritation on the skin just cleared up really well. And the horse in the bottom, that was a Cushing's horse as well. And that was about 2 months on NRF2 activation. And you can see the horse is shed out. He's looking a lot stronger, more muscular, and just overall happier than in that top picture. So this is an incredible thing that we have. You know, our animals, our dogs and horses have the same stresses as we do. They're mammals too. They have the same cellular makeup, and they're exposed to the same toxins. And sometimes I think too, as I'm filling up my dog's bowl out of the tap, you know, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm giving my dog tap water? Like, I would never do that, you know, to myself or my daughter. And sometimes we forget that they're exposed to the same toxins and they're subject to the same toxins that we are. So it's just been incredible. I mean, I'm so grateful to have learned about it. And like I said, you know, I have been a licensed naturopath since 2003, but I've been in the health field for 10 years before that, qualified as a naturopath in Australia way back in the day, late 90s. So I've seen a lot of things come across my path, and very few catch my attention like this. And it's been very, very rewarding for me to be able to help people to get that, you know, cellular activation and to really see their lives be transformed. So I'm going to pass it on to Jenny. She's going to take it from here. But I was just grateful to have the chance to share that with you.
Oh, thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Dr. Nicola. I just appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you, Laurie, just being able to get to know Laurie and her passion to help animals and her heart. She's just one of the most loving and incredible humans. And so I'm so thankful that we get to partner and share this incredible information with the world. And I myself had my own health journey when I found this information. I was born with a chronic heart condition. They wanted to put a pacemaker in me when I was 30. And so finding this information for me not only changed my health, but it changed my family's life financially. When I really saw the results that the people I was putting on this product, and when I understood the science, I knew that I would be a bad person for one, not to share it. And then over the last 7 years, as I've been sharing this with people, I always try to tell people, if I could download my brain into yours as to what I've seen this product do, you would be just as excited as I am. And so this opportunity, this company and this product has not only changed my health and my family's health, but also our financial health. And 3 years into building this business, my background was in the mortgage industry. I was in the mortgage industry for 9 years. And in 2009, when the housing market crashed, my husband and I lost everything. We had to file bankruptcy. We filed foreclosure. We didn't have a backup plan. We didn't have that additional income stream. We didn't have, a way to really make ends meet because we were dependent upon an industry. And I'm going to just share with you guys today that we're living in this new gig economy. I don't know about you, but I have about 10 friends that on the side, they work all day long and they come home and drive for Uber and Lyft. And Forbes put out an article that said by 2020, 50% of the population will have a side hustle in this new gig economy. And not only that, but looking at these companies have changed the way we live our lives, right? They're disruptive technology. Uber and Lyft came in and disrupted the taxi industry. Airbnb came in and disrupted the hotel industry. Amazon is putting companies across the world out of order because why? People want the simplicity of being able to go and utilize the social economy. They want quick, they want information fast. We're dealing with a savvy consumer. And, I always ask myself this question as well, like, where would I be if I could have just invested in Facebook like 15 to 20 years ago? Where would I be today? We'd be retired on a beach in like Bali or Tahiti is where we would be. And so when I saw this biohacking science with LifeVantage, and I knew that nobody else in our industry had their hands on it, I got excited. I saw the vision and I went to work. And 3 years into building this business, I was able to come home as a full-time stay-at-home mom in Southern California. And over the last 7 years, we've been able to not only change our teams' lives, but our customers' lives, with this biohacking technology. And so if you're asking yourself, oh my gosh, I wish I could just be at the right place at the right time, I can assure you, you have found the right place at the right time and you are with the right girls. And we're passionate not just in sharing the health aspect, but the financial aspect. And network marketing now, people are having a different view of it. I can remember 7 years ago when I got involved, I'd be telling people that I, joined a network marketing company and they're like, what? It's one of those pyramid schemes. Jenny, you're smarter than that. You're so successful in the mortgage industry. What are you doing? Well, the way people are viewing this industry is changing. This industry has grown over the last 10 years. It's tripled. We are $1 billion industry. Why? Because people want the simplicity of not having to mortgage their homes to start a business. They're seeing the value of being able to utilize the social economy now. Now network marketing is being utilized in the social economy. We're able to sit at home and build our business from our cell phone. My kids' friends always ask, like, what does your mom do? Like, she's always in her yoga clothes and she's always like on her cell phone. Like, literally, this is what we do. And we inspire people to want more, to be able to create an additional income for their family in this incredible industry. I've fallen in love with this industry. It's given me financial freedom. And I'm just excited to be able to share that. And I get even more excited when I talk about the timing, because in any company, in any business, it's all about the timing. And if you see this purple dot down here, this is where we are with the company. We are the early adapters. We're at the ground floor of a publicly traded company with the science nobody else has their hands on. We are the Facebook that was here 20 years ago. You have an opportunity to see that. Now, 80% of the company's growth is going to happen in momentum. If you go out and you talk to 20 to 50 people on the street, maybe one of them will have heard about Protandim. And I truly believe that we are going to be the next billion-dollar company in our industry. And now is the time to look at this. If you're open to an opportunity, if you're asking yourself, if you're looking at your life and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like if my business or my way of making money went away tomorrow, if you don't have a backup plan and you're not able to solidly say, like, I'd be able to survive without my job, then you're lucky. You're great, because 90% of the population does not even have a savings account. That is the honest to God truth. That is what people are looking at. And so you're probably saying, well, that's good for Dr. Nicola. You know, she's a naturopathic doctor. This girl talks a lot. That's why she's probably successful. You know, Laurie's just amazing. Everybody respects her anyway. But what I want to tell you is that anybody can do this. You know, we've created a system with our team. Our team name is Team Fearless. We're inspiring people, you know, across the world, that this is something that they can utilize, that this isn't for the well-educated. This isn't for the person that has been able to go to school for 8 years to have a profession. We've created a support community where we're supporting people where they're at. We're offering the training and the system that we've built through social media to be able to leverage this social economy and be able to make it doable for you. Over the last 7 years, our team has done about over 2.5 million in revenue. And so we have a proven track record of success. So you're probably asking yourself and probably thinking, okay, well, that's great, but how do I get started? Now, what I love about sharing this information is that we're so supportive. We always meet people where they're at. And if you're looking at these products thinking, oh my gosh, well, of course, why wouldn't I want to take these products? And you're looking at as far as like just your insurance plan for the future and aging gracefully. 80% of our company are customers. They're people that just want to look and feel better. And if that's you, we love our customers. We never force or beg anybody into this business, or as a customer, we hold it with an open hand. But if this is something you're looking at and you're thinking, well, I do need an additional income stream, I know that I have at least 5 to 10 people in my mind that need to hear this information, then we would talk with you. We would come side by side, add you to our Facebook group, share the way that you can get involved. And like I said, get in where you fit in. These packs are designed to really support the type of product that you want to get started on. And so we always work specifically with you to find what that best startup cost would be. It's all based on products. So it's really, really incredible. Get with Laurie, let her know where you're at, and we'd be happy to just share more. I'm not going to get into like the aspects of the business, but we have a really incredible Facebook group that supports not only the product, but the business as well. I want you to just ask yourself as we wrap up this meeting, you know, if you're dependent on single income, you know, I love what Warren Buffett says here, you know, are you going to be working until you die? If you're not making money in your sleep, you're going to work until you die. And what we've been able to create is a residual income that is really going to be able to be willed to our families and create that financial freedom that, you know, 95% of the population is looking for. So I'm going to turn it back over to Laurie. Like I said, get back with Laurie. Let her know where you're at if you want more information. We always like to know you guys where you're at. And thank you, Laurie, for sharing your story. It's just truly incredible that your horses are the best, you know, examples of what this product can do. So you've been incredible, and it's just been great to be with you tonight. I think I have to unmute you. All right, you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to share just very quickly is I find it very amusing. When I walk out, the first thing I do in the morning is I have 2 apples that I cut up amongst the 6 horses. But I have my pro tandem, and everybody gets 1, and the little ones get half. And when I go out there, they're all and talking to me, and they know that those pills. And I don't hide them. I don't put them in the bucket. I just hand them their pill. They chew it up, and you can see their minds thinking. They're in their heads, chewing and chewing. And then I've got apples. I got an apple for that horse afterwards, and they don't want the apple right away. They want to finish chewing up and until they're done swallowing, and then they get their piece of apple. So they truly enjoy it. They enjoy it. I'm not just trying to get it to them real quick. So everybody does eat and chew and take their time. So I know they know, and there's no placebo effect with animals. So we know that they know that this is good for them, and they want it. In fact, Haley, and this is interesting because Haley's the one that needed it the most, in my opinion. She looks at me and wants another one. So I was going to ask you, I think I might just let her have 2, but she's like, I want another one. And I try to hand her the apple and she's looking at the bottle. So I think we're going to up it, just listening to her advice on that. But anyway, I just want to thank you, Dr. Nicola and Jenny. Thank you so much for supporting me and being on this call to help me launch this business. I'm very passionate about helping. Animals are my big part of my business, people as well, exotics, and this is for all mammals. So this is pretty neat for me to be a part of this. And I just appreciate both of you. You're always an amazing support, and I just thank you so much from my heart. Thank you. And thank you everybody for coming and listening. I really appreciate that, and I'll be sharing also with others that weren't able to come to the call.
And we'd love to invite you to our Facebook groups. So reach out to Laurie.
Yeah.
We'll be posting that in the event page. We'll be posting the links to the groups. Please click and join. We'd love to invite you specifically to hear more about testimonials and stories, just really incredible support for you. So I'll be posting that in the event page.
Yeah, those are great.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.